Hi Virgo, welcome to your full moon lunar eclipse in Taurus reading for October 28th, 2023. Full moons close out cycles. The direction that this reading is going in is your higher self. It's number 2, spirit. 2 is always a choice. It's duality. So you kind of get to decide here. We're on a spiritual level, so this is more of an internal situation. The higher self. So that's the direction the reading is going in. Sounds like it's going to be quite a spiritual reading for you, Virgo. Which is interesting because you're pretty much about earthly things, although you are great caregivers, and so I think that's very spiritual, altruistic way of behaving or acting, because you're often about health, right? So what your focus is for the next 2 weeks is the World card. Accomplishment, success, celebration, and full circle. The World. It is definitely a level up. It's like a graduation card. You have finished a cycle. There are a few things that you need to clear up before you move on to your next big cycle. And it is a big cycle because it's a graduation card. You get to take all those experiences and all those things that you've learned from that old cycle and bring it into your new one. This may be travel. It can be spiritual travel. I don't know if you're doing anything like meditation or going to any kind of retreats or anything like that, but that would be one of the things where travel would be consistent here. But it could also be just like traveling to a place that you find to be sacred in your own right, you know, a pool of water where you feel safe and comfortable and at home. This is a protective spiritual box before you move on to the next cycle. Okay. But it is a pretty big graduation card. Let's see where we're going with this here. Okay, what's being closed out here for you is this kind of waiting period where you persevere, right? This is the perseverance card. These are general readings. I keep them general, so I give you the possibilities, but more than that, I'm just trying to give you the sense of direction of energy, and then you can kind of fit that to your own personal scenario, because I'm sorry, I don't know any psychic who can give a reading that tells everybody a prediction. There's always something off. There's always something, or it's not even your reading at all. So what I try to do is to give you the flavor, right? It's the flavor of the reading. Okay, so a 7 of Pentacles is persevering. It is a bit of an editing, waiting period where, for instance, this individual has planted a crop. The crop is ripening. And while it ripens, he's waiting. And he's thinking very much about what he'll plant next time, how he will edit his crops, what worked, what didn't work, what he liked, what he didn't like. Part of the process here is about how you wait while your fruits are ripening, right? Is it with anticipation? Is it with fear? That's a big part of this card as well. But there's this sort of waiting period, persevering, but waiting for those fruits to ripen. Two of Wands. This is kind of like kindling a passion, an idea. If the Ace of Wands is a new passionate beginning, The Two of Wands is the next step, right? So your passion is your fire, your internal fire, what gets you up and out of bed in the morning. And so with the Ace of Wands, you would have thought, oh, I have this new passion, this new desire. And the Two of Wands is sort of like, well, let me kindle that and let me see what direction I choose to go in with this particular passion that I have. Let me look out into the larger world and kind of make some plans, kindle that fire. That's the Two of Wands. Two is always about duality. Two is always choice. It can be that one thing has already been established and you're looking for the next big thing, or you're looking to see what would complement what you've already established. But indeed here we have those fruits that have already been established, right? We've planted them. There they are. What do I want to do next? How would I edit it? What would I do? It's kind of like the next step. But this is what's closing out for you. The next card is you in the situation. Four of Wands. Nice. Shared joy, celebrations, people that think like us, act like us, people that will invite us. Well, this would be you, so you might be celebrating something. You might be inviting people to celebrations. You may be planning parties, weddings, bar mitzvahs, rites of passage. This can be the marketplace for some people, because we are looking at the Seven of Pentacles, right? So that is usually work, career, and health, things of the earth. And so the Four of Wands gives you is having you share that joy, right? So maybe your fruits have ripened. We may have picked a direction, and we're like, okay, who can we invite over that would like to celebrate the things that we have just accomplished? And maybe it's a Halloween party. Maybe it's getting ready for Thanksgiving and deciding who wears Thanksgiving this year. Might even be looking forward to Christmas because these are celebrations, that sort of thing. But it is people that think like us, that act like us, that invite us in. If it is a marketplace, then these are people that say, well, bring your wares to us because they fit in with our style, with our market. It's a nice card, really nice card, celebratory and sharing joy. So nice. You may be traveling for that, right? But it is something that's maybe also celebrating your higher self, right? So it can be anything on a religious level for some people, a spiritual level for other people. Let's look into it. Okay, nice. So we have 2 and 3. 2, 3, 4. So there is a nice progression here. The Three of Wands. Okay, so if we're looking out into the world to see where we can place our goods, we may have found it. These are people who are allies, right? The Three of Wands are allies. We're sending out our ships to see who we can catch, right? Who's interested. And we found it with the Four of Wands. Now, if this is you, you may be an ally to somebody who is trying to do this. You may be able to help somebody. You may be the marketplace. You may be the place where you're hosting the parties, the gatherings, that sort of thing. You may be traveling to, or people may be traveling to you, right? It can go either way here. The World card, we have travel. So, but these are, you may be a person who helps other people to empower them, to move them along into a new direction, or you yourself may be finding the right people, the right places that help you move in a new direction. They're people and forces that you gather around you. They're allies. It's a good card. 2 really nice cards. It seems like you find them, the right people, the right places, or you are that person or that group. You have a young fire sign person around you as an outcome. This could be somebody who finds you as an ally, or you find them as an ally. They're younger, however, so This is my student card, but it's a very expansive energy. It is associated with Sagittarius, so very fiery type of person, very passionate about what they love and what they do. Their energy should be used for creativity on any level, right? Building, using their energy to create something. Otherwise, it turns kind of against them and it becomes anger or aggressive energy. Fire, right? When fire is not used for something good, it can be destructive. So this may be somebody that is looking for you, right? Something you can teach them, a younger person. The Hermit card is a seeker. He seeks information or people, or he seeks knowledge. And he takes that knowledge, he digests it, and he turns it into wisdom. At which point then he can offer that wisdom to other people. There may be a sense of loneliness sometimes with the Hermit, or we could be very internal, or prefer at this moment to be alone. This can be maybe around the time of the full moon lunar eclipse time. It doesn't have to be the whole 2 weeks or even 6 months to a year, but there can be a period where you are gathering information because of this Page of Wands, which is a student card, or there's somebody around you doing that. Could be a child as well. Or again, an ally, right? They're great members, Page of Wands. They're a great band member. They're very social people. They like to be with people. They love a good natter, a good conversation, right? They like to philosophize. And there then the Hermit comes out. Perhaps there's a moment where you or maybe someone you're speaking to can have a really good, deep conversation about things. And especially since we're looking at, the spiritual side of things, like philosophy can really come into play with the Page of Wands and the Hermit card. The Hermit is Virgo, by the way. It's associated with Virgo, so that can also be your energy. Hey, the Star card. Nice. Things are under a lucky star. If you are looking for information, it certainly will be enlightening. The future and future-oriented projects, that sort of thing, because remember, we're just at the start of things here. We're at 2, 3, and 4. So we're just kind of at the start of something here with our new passion. And the Star card is feeling like we're being led into this situation. It's very possible that information just keeps coming your way on a particular topic or subject or person, and it intrigues you, and so you're like, oh, let me go and sniff this out. Who is this person? What is this group? I keep hearing about it. Maybe there's something there for me. It's kind of like that energy with the Star card. It's associated with Aquarius, and so for me that's very much information energy. Can be technological since it's Aquarius, but it doesn't have to be. But it can be. It's definitely future oriented, but it's a really good card, and it's a very hopeful card. So things look, this is looking with an eye towards the future, and that's kind of obvious here with that Two of Wands, I think. But it does mean that things are under a lucky star for future scenarios, whatever it is that you are tweaking here or moving in new directions towards. This is moving on, moving towards a calmer mental state so you can understand things from calmer emotional waters. It's taking the lessons of the past, right, which he would definitely be considering those in this card, and kind of bringing balance back to everything. It is definitely moving on. So this again can be travel with the World card, but it can also be with the higher self. It can be an internal travel. It can be an internal emotional and mental balance that we're bringing back into our life, or that we want to bring back into our life. A place of stability. 4 is always about stability, good foundations. And the Judgment card. Okay. A couple of major arcanas here. We have good 3 major arcana, but I think this is where the higher self comes in, as well as the Star card, because that can be guides of all kinds, right? Mentors, guides, ancestors, that kind of thing. As long as we're talking about the higher self, right? Especially if you're intuitive and you feel those things, or maybe you have a dream. Sometimes information comes in that way. The Judgment card is like a reawakening, a rebirth. It's the clarion call. It is a call to action. It is, it's the card right before the World card. And so we're kind of gaining epiphanies, right? It's the Hermit card. So we're understanding that the information that we've accumulated is really wisdom, right? That's the Judgment card. We're taking all that information and synthesizing it, and it becomes wisdom. And from that place, we can make good judgments. We can make good choices. This is like knowing where we belong in the world. This is like a call to action. It's a good card. I really like it. It seems to me like you're finding the right people, the right places, the right information to help you make a proper judgment call, to help you go in the correct decision, to lay to rest those feelings of kind of like editing and how do I progress and where do I go from here kind of energy. And so you are gathering the information. You learned quite a bit with that Page of Wands. Whether that's you or somebody else, it does mean that there has been something learned here. And because the Page of Wands is a very expansive energy. They want to expand their philosophy. The problem with the Page of Wands doing that, though, is they want that through their own experience. They usually don't pick that up from other people. Kind of like learning the hard way. What does Spirit want you to know? You have the Judgment card again. So I only had one, I think it was Leo, only had one reading so far that hasn't reiterated something in the reading with what Spirit wants you to know. So it's extra attention to the Judgment card here. Okay, this card reads, it's an awakening. On the negative side, self-doubt, epiphanies, indecision, resistance, and a calling. But again, I think it's a very important card. It's really the accumulation of what you've just been through, and synthesizing the information, and something comes from it that brings you an epiphany. So it seems like an important lunar eclipse for you. I'll leave it there. This is for the next 2 weeks, I feel. But, with the Star card and the 2 major arcanas, both, all of the Judgment cards, it can extend outwardly. So this can possibly go 6 months in. You may be learning quite a bit in this amount of time. And then there's a call to action towards the end. There's something that you have to do with this information, with the people that you've gathered around, with this moving to new state of mind or situation that is a rebirth, a reawakening of some sort. Okay? So it seems kind of light, but it really isn't. It's something deeper. It's something that goes much deeper than the mundane. Okay. Hope this has been helpful. I'll be back in 2 weeks with a new moon reading. Take good care until then. Bye for now.